Welcome to this week's Movie Math, where Brad Pitt won the battle but not the war with Fury. See, clearly he broke through the front lines this weekend, but he could hardly claim the kind of victory that Gone Girl did just 2 weeks ago, and Annabelle too. Plus, next weekend, Ouija looks poised to easily defeat the World War II flick. But speaking of World War II flicks, apparently while they win Oscars, they don't do so hot at the box office, with Fury still able to boast the 5th biggest debut ever for the genre. And on a side note, the industry trades are helping out old school Hollywood a bit by not including Captain America: The First Avenger in their rankings, allowing Fury to take 4th place. But if it features World War II soldiers during World War II, then it's a World War II movie. And as you can see, Pitt wasn't able to top his previous World War II flick, Inglourious Basterds. In fact, Fury opened on the low side for Pitt, nowhere near the debuts of World War Z, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Troy, or his Ocean's movies. Instead, it opened more in line with The Curious Case of Benjamin Button and Moneyball, meaning maybe audiences don't agree with Pitt that he's a prestige actor. It's also worth noting that the other big World War II movie of the year, Unbroken, comes from Pitt's now wife, Angelina Jolie. But that movie will face even stiffer competition at the box office and for award season. Yes, this is not looking to be one of the most competitive award seasons ever, but this time audiences might actually care who wins. Because not only are there a lot of critically lauded films hitting theaters, but people are seeing them. Birdman debuted in just 4 theaters, yet delivered the best per theater average of the year since Grand Budapest Hotel. Dear White People also delivered a strong per theater average, but as they say, timing is everything. And while Birdman had strong awards buzz going into the weekend, this headline gives it some much needed momentum towards being taken seriously as an awards contender. Brilliantly, while Alejandro Inarritu and Michael Keaton are trying to show the damage comic book movies have done to Hollywood, at the same time they are intentionally appealing to that very fan base. And those fanboys, combined with the indie audience, are creating a perfect storm of box office and awards heat. Just like with the play and the movie. Birdman gets more meta by the minute. Elsewhere in the box office, things were far less exciting. Gone Girl demonstrated yet another strong hold and became the only movie in the top 10 to pass the century mark, which it did easily in just its 3rd week of release. Yes, between Gone Girl and all the Batman v Superman rumors, Ben Affleck is flying high. Then The Book of Life opened in 3rd place, a solid debut, and interestingly right in line with the box trolls, indicating the size of the audience out there for highly stylized animated pics, which is clearly not as big as the audience for mainstream animated pics. Then the weekend's other wide release, The Best of Me, didn't demonstrate wide appeal, posting the lowest debut ever for a Nicholas Sparks movie. Paul Walker was originally supposed to star, and James Marsden stepped in for him after Walker's tragic death, a kind thing to do, and I guess Marsden can at least take solace in that. Meanwhile, Alexander's Sucky Day and The Judge also enjoyed solid holds in their second weekends, thank goodness, while Dracula Untold and Annabelle suffered heavier losses. Dracula Untold is up to just $136 million worldwide, and remember, it's got to double that just to break even. That's thanks to a ridiculously high budget for the vampire flick, yet with a budget of just $6.5 million, Annabelle is sitting pretty on the shelf with $150 million worldwide. Meanwhile, China has once again worked its box office magic for another Hollywood movie, as Guardians of the Galaxy has jumped to 4th place for 2014, surpassing Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and has yet another Marvel property, X-Men: Days of Future Past, squarely in its sights. It's likely to top Maleficent as well, but catching up with Optimus Prime and Marky Mark might prove more difficult, especially since word is the Chinese translation for the film isn't doing Star-Lord and company any favors. As for this coming weekend, Ouija is set to get out in front of the Halloween holiday in spectacular fashion, while John Wick seems to be firing blanks. And that's the weekend box office. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just did some movie math. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.